Hi, I'm Christina and I'm a physicist, and I'm really happy that you are here on my channel. Here we'll talk a bit about LaTeX. Almost everyone makes at least one of these 10 mistakes when writing papers in LaTeX. I've made many of them myself. If you know more examples like this that I forgot to mention, write them in the comments. And don't skip the last mistake. It is absolutely incredible. First, indices and operator names. If something is an abbreviation, it should not be italic. For example, sigma with a subscript ext. If you write ext in italics, this means that it is just a product of three variables, e, x, and t. That is not extension or external or whatever it may mean. It is not a word. It is just a product of three variables. The same is applied to functions. Sine, cosine, exponential. These are not variables. They are operators and they should not be written in italics. Second, integrals and differentials. In an integral, dx is not a product again, and d is not a variable, it is operator. It should be upright, so one of the easiest way to do this is just use a physics package and write it as dd. 3. One of my favorite, quotation marks. As you see, if you type them just as usual, they look just wrong. But 2 backticks for the opening quote and 2 apostrophes for the closing quote, they just look right. It is strange, it is different, but it is so. One really unusual, proportionality. A tilde doesn't mean proportional to. It means many different things, for example, equivalence, but if you mean proportionality, you better use proportionality symbol, which is completely different. Dashes, hyphen, n dash, m dash. These are different things, and very often just hyphen is used, which doesn't look really good. A hyphen is just part of the word. An n dash expresses a connection or range, and m dash is just a punctuation, and you can see the difference between them in LaTeX. Also, one of sophisticated is colon in math. In math, a colon has its own space and rules. If you define a function from one set to another, use the proper math colon. And yes, you need to type the whole word colon to type it correctly, but otherwise the spacing is wrong. 7. References. Just do not break it, do not break the lines, and it's just not really beautiful, but it is easy to achieve. Just use tilde and it will look very nice after it. The same is not only applicable to the references, but also to any situation where you don't want to break the line. Euler number and imaginary unit. There are discussions on topics, but actually these are not variables, these are constants, so probably they should not also be italic but upright symbols. I use basically upright, but sometimes journal, just correct it back to italic, and what even for? Why even try to do it? 9 is just make it beautiful. I mean, isn't it obvious that varphi is way more beautiful than phi? Okay, it is not really a mistake, but the last one is absolutely my favorite. It is mostly not made by authors, but by publishers, sometimes even the stage after the proofs. Can you imagine this? And this is multiplication signs. There are different multiplication symbols, the dot, the cross, the tensor product symbol, and they all mean, of course, very different things. They completely change everything what you want to write in your formula. And for some reason, journals consider it acceptable, for example, to replace all dots with cross and vice versa. And this happens several times with me. And This is complete madness, and they literally introduce arrows into papers this way. And yes, this actually constantly happens. Okay, none of these mistakes will ruin your paper, except the last one, of course, but together they send a signal, rather absence of them sends a signal. And yes, probably after this video your life will never be the same. You will notice all this stuff constantly. Thank you that you watched this video till the end, but please just press this stupid subscription button. It's just a one click for you, but for me it's much more.